is rapidly emerging as a global leader in biotechnology. As the third largest player for biotech in Asia Pacific, India's bioeconomy has advanced to new heights. The Indian bioeconomy crossed the $150 billion mark in 2023, a remarkable multifold increase in a decade. Projected to reach $300 billion by 2030, India is set to become a dominant biotech innovation powerhouse. The number of biotech startups in India has grown phenomenally, from close to 500 startups in 2014 to over 8,000 startups in 2023.
Leading this transformative journey is BIRAC, the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council.
Not-for-profit organization under the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India is dedicated to empowering, enabling, and accelerating India's innovation ecosystem through a comprehensive pipeline of programs, schemes, and policy initiatives. Over the last 12 years, BIRAC has acted as a catalyst and will continue to contribute towards development of globally competitive, affordable products to address the unmet needs of society at large. BIRAC organizes Global Bio India, an annual mega international congregation of biotechnology stakeholders.
और जिस तरह से नए आयाम बायोटेक्नोलॉजी सेक्टर में हिंदुस्तान तय कर रहा है, उसका एक प्रतीक है। और प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जब से बहुत सारे इस तरह से रिफॉर्म्स लाए हैं, जिससे लिबरलाइज हुआ है हमारा साइंस सेक्टर।
And what we want to build now is the biovision for Bharat actually. That will catalyze our Amritkal journey.
It feels good to see India innovating at such a huge scale.
It's a massive event, massive scale.
I'm very impressed by the variety.
Over the years, Global Bio India has established itself as a leading platform for bio-innovation. Previous edition had participation from 5,600 plus delegates, 25 plus countries, 1,200 plus startups, 100 plus incubators, 200 plus academic institutions, 500 plus exhibitors. The event witnessed 1,000 plus bio partnering meetings, 40 plus sessions, and 30 plus product launches. Global Bio India 2024 promises to be a groundbreaking event, bringing together visionaries from academia, industry leaders, and government bodies. This year, the spotlight will be on the dynamic fields of biopharma, bioagri, bioindustrial, bioenergy, bioservices, and medtech. Expect a whirlwind of innovations to be unveiled and pressing challenges to be addressed, all aimed at shaping a bold new future for bio-innovation and the bioeconomy. Dive into a world of limitless possibilities at Global Bio India 2024, where connections and collaborations flourish. Engage in high-stakes meetings, participate in critical policy dialogues, and experience invigorating boot camps. Investor roundtables will offer cutting-edge insights into the market, while dedicated platforms will foster lasting partnerships, spread crucial awareness, and accelerate the pace of innovation. Join us at Global Bio India 2024 from September 12th to 14th at Hall number 5, Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. Be a part of the bio revolution. Connect, collaborate, and innovate to co-create a healthier and more sustainable future.
I think the take-home message here is the skill development. So there has to be a lot of initiatives that has to come to do skill development in terms of entrepreneurship or innovation. Okay, without further ado, I would like to invite the next speaker, like Dr. Jitendra Kumar, to give a distinguished lecture now. So Dr. Jitendra Kumar is the MD of BIRAC. So we were also fortunate yesterday to have inaugurated Well Tank in his presence. So thank you, sir, for joining from all the way from the Delhi, and please share your wisdom here.
Honorable Dr. Edenna, distinguished
delegates, startups, members from industry, members from government, representatives from government, associations. I am very glad to be here today. Yesterday also I was there, but today is the culmination of what we have seen. What we have seen yesterday. I think this is one of the best programs that our country, especially biotech field, has, because this is a lacuna area, the area where there is a gap in the ecosystem, in the value chain, the funding, the early stage funding, and that this type of meeting is actually trying to solve that issue. So definitely more such events have to happen, and that is what the value of the whole ecosystem increases when such events happen. Coming to some of the broader aspects of innovation, have you wondered why some countries have progressed so much, prospered so much, and others have not prospered so much, even if they have put a lot of things together rightly? Or they are working hard. They may have natural resources, but still some countries have prospered and some countries have not. And some countries are, of course, coming into a poor category, economically impoverished. I think broadly we can dissect this into two aspects. One is countries which have unlocked their wealth, unlocked their intellectual wealth or natural wealth, whatever resources, in a marketable, exchangeable, market exchangeable ways, has made it more efficient in a capitalistic system of world. They have prospered. Take example of natural resources, land resources. There's a Nobel laureate who wrote about this same subject, and he was talking about land reforms. In countries where land reforms are very efficiently done, they have prospered, because land is a resource which is unlocked and exchangeable in the market capital, and the country gets prosperity. Similar is the case with the intellectual capital. Countries who have unlocked the intellectual wealth, like say for example, who have filed more IPs. IPs are nothing but unlocking the intellectual wealth. When I say unlocking, means it is exchangeable in the marketplace. You can actually commercialize as well. It's efficient. The market efficiency becomes high. Philosophically, you can say this, and some countries have taken this route of high governance and making it efficient for the market to operate, and that's how they have become prosperous. Example is US. US, Japan, South Korea. Now there are some similarities in these countries. Whatever I just said, unlocking the wealth. Take the example of US. US, as we all feel, most of us have visited US and we see how prosperous nation is. Huge resources, huge, roads, fire, freeways, university systems and all, very efficiently run. They may have their own share of problems, but I'm just telling you, from the economic point of view. You will be surprised to know, many of you might be knowing, in 1900s, 1910, 1915, etc., the country was actually not so rich. It was in fact poor, inefficient, inefficiently governed, corruption. What has changed so fast that US has emerged as the biggest, innovator or strong economy country? The reason is they have given more emphasis on the innovation, right from the time when they were transforming into a developed country. They attracted a lot of talent. They gave free, resources to these talents, and then the economy grew. When I talk about innovation, actually, it's not just incremental innovation that I'm talking, although incremental innovation is also very important. I'll talk about that. But when I'm talking about innovations that have led these countries to become prosperous, I'm talking about the disruptive innovations. Disruptive innovations actually create new markets. It's a market creating innovations. They create newer jobs, they disrupt the whole process, and they make life simpler for people. For example, let's not take the example of biotech, because that time biotech had not come. I'm talking about, say, Ford car. I mean, Ford just believed that this car should be accessible to the common people. It's not that the technology was not there or physics was not developed that time. Automobile engineering was not developed, but nobody was imagining that car could be actually people who can afford car could be common people, because they were bulky, inefficient cars, but very kind of aristocratic class only had the cars that time. Ford believed that no, this should be given to the, common people should access it. And he innovated and created these Ford cars in a line manufacturing unit, volumes reduction, cost reduction and all, and it made accessible. The whole, middle class could access these cars. What was the result? It was not just the cars that he did innovation, but actually, when the cars became accessible to the common man, they demanded roads. When the roads from the government, which was inefficient, but here is a democratization effect of innovation. People became enlightened after innovation products come to their life. They say, no, they are demanding to the government that you better become more efficient, otherwise we'll change you and we'll revolutionize and we'll select somebody. So it's the effect, that social effect is there. Then roads came. When the roads are there, then people wanted good schools for children. There were marketplaces developed around those roads, freeways, etc. What I'm trying to tell is that one innovation could transform the whole economy of the country. Take the example of Japan. 1940, 45, it was all destroyed, Second World War. But within 50 years, not 50 years, but in 1970s they were a developed country. Within 30, 40 years. Because they innovated immensely into electronics. And they captured the whole world market. The country became rich. South Korea. 1970, South Korea was a poor country. Can you believe? And now, if you go to South Korea, it's one of the, what has transformed? It's Samsung and companies like that. So these countries have put innovation in the forefront. Come to Brazil. Brazil has many things rightly done. They have a lot of industry, this and that, lot of things are happening, but innovation game is still poor there. That's why they are not considered to be a prosperous country. Come to India. We are supplying 40% of pharma to the world. We are supplying, vaccine to the world. But can we say, what is the percentage of bioeconomy? 3%. We were discussing with Dr. Redanna last day. And why? Because volumes, but where is the value? Where is the innovation? Innovation is still we are missing. So the bottom line is, the country will not take to the next trajectory of prosperous country, howsoever you work hard, unless you put lot of emphasis on the innovation. Now, incremental innovations or efficiency innovations that we say is very important. I am not denying that, and our country is really taking lead into that. Definitely, it's also required for the economy. But to go to the next trajectory, becoming a prosperous nation, innovation is a must. I'm very glad to share that this vision of innovation, which started some decades back in 2012 when BIRAC was set up, at least I'm talking about biotechnology. We have funded some 100 incubation centers. We have funded the startup companies. We have funded the mid-sized companies. We have actually created the very good ecosystem with the help of you all. However, still we are seeing a lack of disruptive technologies, high-tech, deep-tech science technologies in India. The reason is our university system or academic research programs or university system in general, the traditional university system is not geared towards innovation. They are all degree giving, you can say, these institutions that we have created. Research focus is not there. We have created good research institutions, CDFDs, DBT institutions, CSIR institutions and all we have created, but these are islands of excellence, but they do not have other mechanisms in place like traditional universities should have. For example, universities in US would have MBA department, management department, the incubation center. They all work together to create institutional mechanism of venture creation, which is not happening in our country. Some universities may have semblance of or flavor of those things like University of Hyderabad, but it has to be strengthened. JNU, for example, JNU, now they have created a MBA school and entrepreneurship school, etc. But still, a lot of work needs to be done. So, unless the deep science research happens and the funding happens in those areas, the deep science technology innovations cannot happen. But let's focus on whatever is there in our country right now, and let's see where are the gaps. So we have good number of academic institutions or research institutions, CSIR, DBT labs, and some good universities, etc. The IP is there, the technologies that are there lying on shelf actually. They are not, there is no institutional mechanism through which they can be actually commercialized. So technology transfer is inefficient because industry thinks that it is half-baked technologies. Technologies are not ready for industry. Academics do not reach out to industry, so there is a huge gap. This gap can be fulfilled by the entrepreneurial mechanism, I think. And entrepreneurship has to be actually generated in the research institutions. We have initiated a program, we're about to initiate a program of entrepreneurs in residence. And I think that will solve this problem. What we'll do here is we'll hire entrepreneurs in residence to work with the innovators in academic research institutions, fund them, and then they are supposed to start companies, spin out from those research institutions with the good technologies, and they're aligned with or they're associated with venture capitalists and the local industry leaders there, so that they feel safe and they feel they are well mentored. We have done this exercise in the past in CDFD with IKP Knowledge Park, and when I returned from US, immediately we went to Dr. Gauri Shankar, and definitely Dr. Shekhar Mande is also there, and we all jumped to the idea, and actually it was successful. 4 technology we selected, and out of that 2 there was a spin out, and we incubated at IKP Knowledge Park. So pilot was successful, but we always wanted to do it at national level. So I'm glad to tell you that now this is a reality, and DBT and BIRAC is going to start entrepreneurship residence. So that can solve this gap. Whatever innovations that we are seeing, I'm not denying that some of them are really deep tech, but people have come from outside, postdoc they have done and all, they have started here, and incubation centers are there and all that, they are doing fine. I'm not saying, but unless this is institutionalized through this mechanism that I'm talking about, we cannot have a large number of such innovations. Okay, so this we are trying to fill this gap. Now, incubation center program, BioNest is filling the gap what universities did not have. Universities did not have the incubation centers like US and other places. So we actually went to these universities, set up the incubation centers. Now we have hundreds of such incubation centers, and we are trying to add more and more. So that is another gap that we have filled. Now these incubation centers can be, they can act as a superstructure on which we can build more specialized research, innovation or research facilities, such as biomanufacturing and all, because we have a platform that is already working there. The other gap which is there is the funding gap, early stage funding gap, because incubation centers can take to the next level up to proof of concept, but then they require more funding, and then early stage venture funding is a gap. So we have come up with Biotech Ignition Grant for the ignition, for the initial stage, and then some more funding schemes are there. But ultimately, they need some more amount of money to do that, to cross that valley of death, we say, to go to the pilot scale. So that one, actually, we have instituted a ACE fund, which is fund of funds, and this is trying to fill up that gap. However, the infusion of venture capital and angel capital definitely has to come at certain point, and that is why this type of congregation is very, very important for our country. More of such events. I would like to announce here, yesterday I had hinted at it, that BIRAC would like to associate with FABA to make it a national level program. And we can hold this type of event in Delhi. We will arrange there, and it will be, venture capitalists from all across the country, startups from all across the country can come, and we can have this platform where venture capitalists and startups interact. Now the third factor which I wanted to give focus or light on is the role of industries, the established industries in the Indian ecosystem. Our country can never have the classical venture funding model that US has. They are rich country, they have a lot of resources, they have a lot of venture capital, they have a lot of high net worth individuals. They can push money into ideas. But here we don't have funds which are really actually risk capital, actually speaking. Because we don't, I have not seen a venture funding company in India, Indian company, which actually funds at the ideation stage. Unless this product is in the sales or revenues, etc. I keep on looking at this, many of these, I've interacted with many of these venture capitalists, and I'm there in many committees, etc. So actually it's not a true risk capital. So that has to change. But however, in this scenario in our country, I think industry, the established industry has a huge role to play to partner with these startup companies. Some people may criticize me for saying this is impractical, why startups will go there, they feel insecure, bigger companies will not, there's no match, etc. But let me tell you that there are good number of examples that have come across my 15 years of tenure in the innovation management, where I'm convinced that such models can actually work. Levin Biotech, we have funded this startup company, and then now they are working with Glenmark to, similarly Aurobindo Pharma and also. There are many companies who have actually worked with the startup and actually helped them cross the valley of death, either through strategic collaboration or infusing some capital. In the process, some of them have acted like a corporate venture capitalist also. So semblance of many such permutation combinations are existing in our country. We need to just strengthen it. Okay. So I'll not take much time. I think this is what I wanted to convey to you. And you have seen the video of Global Bio India. You must participate in such events. Also, I would like to say that we must showcase our innovative potential innovations at the global level. And Global Bio India is one such level. So sometimes we are silent on our innovations strength. Sometimes the world does not recognize us. I'll take one or two examples. Dr. Ravi, Revelations Biotech, has created a mechanism or a transformation of sugar into fibrous kind of sugar, non-glycemic phos and brasinin, which is a protein but it's a sugar-like and it's not glycemic, etc. And it's producing huge amounts. He's supplying to the many multinational companies. The companies are actually buying from them, and it's actually silently transforming the whole in India actually, and globally also. Pepsi has approached him, but do we know about? We don't know because he's just it's just silent, But it's a revolution, I'm telling you. I have seen his facilities and all. Huge. I did not believe, but it's there. 3-4 facilities he have built. One is Genome Valley, other is in Cherlapalli and all. I'm sure most of you do not know about it. So these type of innovations actually are there, hidden gems, some places. Dr. Markande Gorantla, ATGC. So these type of companies, innovative companies, we have to actually nurture, support, and showcase at such global events, etc. So I urge you to participate in Global Bio India in a huge manner, whatever capacity you have, and come together to solve the ecosystem gaps, or fill the ecosystem gaps that we have. Work together to create a strong ecosystem. Work together to create a huge bioeconomy. bioeconomy is actually the future now. Whole synthetic chemistry pathway actually will move towards bioeconomy. Whole world is moving towards bioeconomy, biomanufacturing, and DBT and BIRAC would be actually implementing such programs to facilitate biomanufacturing, greenfield projects, brownfield projects, and all. Huge funding is there. We have already advertised, but for some reason we'll implement it because some cabinet approval is required, etc. So the future is very bright. We are at the cusp where we can make a dynamic change. We can actually go to that trajectory I was talking about, the prosperity, country which are prosperous in nature. We can actually reach that level if we make these small changes in our mindset or innovation game we are into. Recently I was in Bio-US, and I had an opportunity to represent India in that B5 country. They say B5 policy making mission, they say. 5 countries, Japan, South Korea, US, European Union, and India, they came together to find a strategic ways or means through which they can contain China for the national security of each country, because China holds the key for the whole world. I mean, there's monopolized the suppliers of the key starting material, the APIs. So we are supplying to the whole world these vaccines and even this pharma and all, but actually we are dependent on China for the KSMs and APIs. How would we solve that problem? So we can solve those problems. We have to just focus on such strategic issues, come together, join hands, and actually say, for example, Ravi's company, it was incubated at ICICI Knowledge Park, one of the first companies which I interacted when I came to India. He was supported by an industry. Kind of, we can say corporate venture capital, kind of, but it's not institutionalized in such manner. He was helped, and then they both are working together. He is scaling up. So such collaborations, I think I must urge industry to come together and create a platform where startup industry could work. So I'll close here, and I thank you all for inviting me and sharing my thoughts with you. I wish you all the best, and see you in Global by India. Thank you.
Yeah.